how to serve to make the service box big for the returner. Now what does that mean? It means the ability to hit all the corners in the service box so the returner has to cover a greater distance, allowing you to put them on the stretch and get weak responses so you can take control of the point right away. A lot of servers really struggle with hitting good flat serves. So from a right-hand perspective, so the deuce court, where the ball lands here, really stretching the opponent. What happens is they tend to pull the ball a little bit, where it lands more towards the center, and then the spin of the ball kind of curves it and brings it closer to the returner. Now, why does that happen? Usually it comes down to two reasons. The first is a lot of players, they tend to drop the tossing arm too early, which pulls the shoulders around, which then in turn pulls the ball away from the center tee. The second reason is a lot of times players will adjust the toss and also adjust the body in order to hit a wide serve. The problem is, what happens is they learn to open up the body, and then in turn that pulls the ball when they try to go down the tee more towards the center. Now when you adjust the toss and also the body to help aim the ball, not only does it give away the disguise factor, you now have multiple things that you need to line up in time, which under pressure can make it very difficult to time the things perfectly, which very often can cause you to miss or not hit great serves. Now when you look at the serves of good players with great serves, it's very difficult to distinguish whether or not they're hitting a flat serve or a slice serve, and whether they're taking the ball out wide or going down the tee. The reason for that is they try to keep everything almost the same. The toss is in a very similar location. The body almost looks the same. The difference is they're just changing the angle of the racket face at contact. Now remember, the ball is round, so wherever the strings point, that's where the ball's going to go. Now keep in mind, whether you're hitting a flat serve or a slice serve, you still want to lead with the edge of the racket up to contact. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking a flat serve is completely flat and they need to swing up with an open racket face. What will happen is that ball is simply going to add underspin and want to float long. Right? So let's take a look at a slow motion example where I'm going to show you side by side myself hitting a flat serve down the tee and a slice serve out wide. And you'll see that the toss and the body positions are very similar. Let's take a look. So if we examine these two contact points, we'll notice a lot of similarities, and the big difference being the angle of the racket face at contact. That's going to help determine the spin and also help direct the ball. Now as we continue to go forward, you'll see that the serve on the right is going down the tee and the serve to the left is angling out wide. You'll see that there's still pronation, we call internal rotation, where the strings are turning out. And if we go all the way back, starting from the racket drop, you'll see the similarities in the body. You'll see how I'm still leading with the edge up to contact. At this point, you'll see a subtle difference where on the right, the racket is a little bit more turned open because I've started the pronation earlier in order to be more extended and hit more towards the back of the ball to get that flatter type serve, but also to direct the ball down the tee. On the left-hand side, you'll see how the edge is leading longer. That allows me to hit more of the right edge of the ball, right of center, helps to give the spin, but also, most importantly, direct the ball out wide. Let's take a look at that again. So how do you fix this problem? And this is what I always recommend to players when working on their serves. When you go work on your serve from a right-hander's perspective, and you're starting to aim the ball in the box, if you just divide the service box into two halves, so you've got a wide serve and you've got a tee serve on the deuce court, and here on the ad side you've got your wide serve and your tee serve. For a right-handed player, lefties, you would flip this. When you work on the serve, initially you want to serve everything down the tee for the right-hander. The reason for that is you have to be a lot more upright and extended to hit that serve, so you'll learn to be a little bit more structured with your body, where you don't collapse the body and open up, because if you do, the ball is going to want to pull towards that wide serve to the forehand of a right-handed player. You do the same thing on the ad side, where you would simply serve out wide to what would be the right-hander's backhand and work on that before then looking to hit the slice serve, where you go down the tee to the ad or out wide to the deuce. Now a visual which really helped me as a kid growing up in South Africa when trying to hit the flat serve down the tee on the deuce court or out wide to the ad was to imagine I had these rugby uprights, like football uprights, coming up through my shoulders. And the idea is you want to envision this and try to think that you're swinging up and through between the two posts. It's really going to give you that sense, that feeling of being a little bit more upright and extended. So showing you from the deuce court, I'm going to extend up and through the uprights. And it really helps prevent you from opening up. Now once you get the idea of being able to hit the flatter serve down the tee to the deuce court or out wide to the ad, then off that same toss in same body position, you simply just want to angle the racket face a little bit in the direction of your target, hitting the slice serve out wide. So I'm trying to keep the body and the toss the same and simply try to change the angle of the racket face, hitting the ball more towards the right side of center there to give it the spin, also give it the direction. Now keep in mind, up to a certain level, players can hit all the spins to all the targets, but certainly it's a good idea to think of the spins as a way to help you to direct the serve. So if you're right-handed, when you serve down the tee, go out wide. The ad's a very similar serve. You can hit flatter for a first serve. And if you want to go out wide to the forehand on the deuce court or down the tee to the ad, you can simply think of hitting more of a slice serve. And then when you hit the body serve, you can go somewhere in between. But that's what I recommend to help you to, number one, give you that disguise factor, but also to really make that service box big for your opponent where you can hit all the corners when you need to, so you can really stretch your opponent, get them in trouble, get that short ball, and then take control of the point early on. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends, and thank you for watching.